Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Josh and Jason Monday Christian and Conspiracy Podcast Show. I am your host, Josh Monday. And if you don't know me, you can just go to my Instagram at Josh Monday Music. I'm a Christian rapper, Army veteran, devoted husband, and father. And I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, Jason Monday. He's a devoted husband, father, and a Christian. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good morning, everybody. Man, 5 a.m., buddy. Thank you. I call in sick for this one. Don't tell my boss.
Don't show him this. Just don't show him this one. Then.
Oh, he'll probably see it somehow through the grapevine.
All right. So,
my arm does hurt.
And guys, we have a very special guest. I'd like to thank Sophia Smallstorm for hooking me up with Dave Weiss. He's got several different app. He's got an app, and then he's also has a website and everything. So Dave, if you'd like to shout that out so everybody knows, so they can go to it and understand what we're talking about here.
Well, we're going to be talking about the flat earth. My website is theflatearthpodcast.com, and my app is called the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. It's on Android and Apple, and it is the only way or the easiest way to find a relevant flat earth content, because Google doesn't want you to see it. You Google flat earth, you end up at the Flat Earth Society. You end up with just a bunch of garbage, and then you'll throw up your hands and go, flat earth is stupid. But once you see flat earth, as you guys know, and it happens to all of us, we all doubted it. We all said it's the dumbest thing ever. And then something gave us the courage to look and actually use our brains. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
For sure. And first off, I would like to say thank you to Dave for stepping out of the box, doing all this research and kind of letting us be exposed to it today. I think it's awesome. First off, also, I'd like to start out with some prayer. So, Father God, in the name of Jesus, please, we would like a shield around us. We don't want any condemnation, before investigation from anybody. In Proverbs 18, verse 13, you said, he who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. So I just, Lord, please just give us a shield around us. And thank you so much. And all the listeners out there, please, if you have ears, we need you to hear. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, there we go, guys. So definitely. Most people, they try to do that. They might just actually see what the title of the podcast is and maybe not listen yet. So hopefully everybody just kind of continues to listen. Dave is very knowledgeable, and he's been in the industry for a long time on several different podcasts. So I think it's definitely, you guys need to definitely tune in for this one. So, all right. So
your prayer there was perfect, because when people see flat earth, they just tune out. They don't look. Condemnation without investigation is the sign of indoctrination. And we've all been indoctrinated so much. I had an open mind. I was doing a conspiracy podcast, and people suggested I look into flat earth. I banned them for life from our social media. Right? You're out. I'm not even going to look at your 1 minute video because you're an idiot. That was what I was thinking, Mr. Open-minded. But then our mutual friend, Sophia, she's the one that got me to look. She's like, Dave, I think the earth is flat. And I'm like, not you too, Sophia. And she sent me some videos, and I looked at them. I was like, okay, I'm not going to believe any of this. I'm just going to disprove it, But it showed me some doors that I never knew were there. And then once you stick your head through the door, you're finished.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Sophia, I just recently asked her about that. I was like, Sophia, what do you think about this? Because we did a Flat Earth podcast a few podcasts ago. And she told me, she's like, Josh, I think it's flat. And I'm like, really? So we were kind of on the same page there, and that was cool, man. It was a real cool conversation. But so guys, before we start, can
I say something real quick?
Oh, for sure. Go ahead.
But Dave, I was looking at your maps, okay, on your on this podcast I saw last, and I kind of compared it to a map that I found of, like, it's called the Book of the Giants, but it's on a flat earth type of YouTube site. But if you look it up, there's a place down in the bottom, like right near Antarctica, that is not covered with any ice, nothing. And that's what they say, that
where is it? What side of Antarctica is it on?
It's like right to the left of Brazil, like way, like past. It's like way down there. Like this is what it says. It says it's called like Tartarus. and it's where the Nephilim. I don't know if you ever heard of the Nephilim, but
like Tartaria.
Yeah, like Tartaria. Yeah, there you go, like Tartaria, something like that. Yes, yes. And it's where this is where an old, I don't know if it's true or not, but I do believe in the Bible. I do believe in Genesis, where it states where the angels came down and had sex with women and they bore children. So they drove those giants from back in the day into that area because Joshua, in the book of Joshua, it says that don't spare any man, woman, or child. You have to get rid of this bloodline. And when Joshua couldn't, he failed at doing that, but there were still some of them left over. And I think that they went down to there. And when you say that there's land past Antarctica, in my mind, I'm like, wow, man, I think that's where, because everyone says UFOs and whatever, but I think that's what the Nephilim, that's where they reside. And like you said, they can come across, probe you, and be back by lunchtime and not even have to worry about it, So
well, yeah.
That's what I believe, because I'm starting to put things together where in the biblical reasons I like to tie it to your versions, and it seems that your version plays out in my story a lot better.
There could just be more continents outside of Antarctica, just scattered around.
Right there. Yeah.
It could
right
be like
there.
that. It could be other rings with their own suns and moons in their outer rings. It could just be one pond here, but there's a new video out that I featured on the app the last 2 days of May. Did you guys watch the long video by Iwarnan or Iwar?
No, if you would have let me know, we would have definitely watched it. I didn't.
Yeah, it's still there. Just go in the app, hit the archive button, go back to hit the little hamburger at the top, go back to May, and it's the last 2 videos of May.
Okay.
And
I'll write it down so I remember.
Parts 1 through 7 is 5 hours, right? And it's like someone gives me an hour video, I'm like, oh man, a whole hour. I've watched this 3 times already, and I'm going to watch it again. Okay.
Can you repeat the name of it so I could type it in my notes so I could give it to my brother?
I will send you a link, but
okay, perfect.
The name of the video is the Lost History of Flat Earth, and it's by a channel called Iwar. I'm not sure. I'm not. Don't quote me on the name. Yeah, but check it out, and it talks about how instead of rings, maybe there's more land way around, and our puddle is migrating through the ages. Right? Okay. It does a great year. Each age is 2,160 years, I think, and it's migrating. So, like over here, this would start melting as we move this way, and then this would start freezing over here, and then there'd be new land exposed, and that's why we just migrate all the way around. Very, very interesting stuff.
Well, that's the thing we got to do. We got to instead of right now is a perfect time for Flat Earth, because so many people are discrediting the science of this coronavirus and all that, guys. So instead of depending on atheists, us as Christians, we need to depend on the word of God. So before we kind of get into this, there you go. Perfect. So Genesis 1 verses 1 and 2, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay. So on day 1, he created the earth and the heavens. Okay, guys. Day 2, he created the oceans and the firmament. And guys, if you guys don't know, with Flat Earth, man, the firmament goes perfect. It's like, is that what you believe, Dave, on that part? That there's a dome over us?
I believe there's a dome, whether I don't know what it's made of. I don't know if we can get beyond it. I don't know if there's other domes. All I know is,
of course,
and again, there's flat earthers that don't believe in a dome. Some flat earthers believe in an infinite plane with an infinite ceiling. Okay, interesting. Let's talk about it. Right now, you guys are using the Bible to back up your belief in the dome. I actually believe in the dome, but not because of the Bible. The Bible is just like, the Bible also says it. So the evidence that I've seen, the stories that I've heard, it makes sense to me. Right.
Yes.
But I'm not discrediting anyone that says there's no dome. The only thing that we all agree on, and we can scientifically prove, is that we're not on a ball floating through an infinite space vacuum. That's that's the dumbest thing in the world, and scientifically provably impossible.
Yes. So here's the interesting thing about what you're talking about. So that we talked about the firmament, that's day 2. Day 3, God created dry land, plants, and vegetation. It wasn't until day 4 that he created the moon, the sun, and he says the stars also. He does not say the planets, and he's not saying that stars are a bunch of suns like NASA tries to tell us, right?
Right.
So that was kind of interesting to me. So guys, as Christians, read through the creation, and if you take it literally, like maybe I think we should be taking the Bible, you're going to see that it doesn't really match up with what NASA, all these scientists are trying to say how the earth was created. So I would say, guys, just dig deep into that. Okay.
But Dave,
let me expound upon that before we move on, but go ahead, you first.
I was gonna say, like, when you're talking about all this, like the dome and everything like that, and like there's been recent super blood moon coming up and all this stuff. But if you look at it, a lot of these tie in when dates that have to do with Jewish Hebrew ties. So like if yes, so whatever happens in this world, a blood moon or anything like that has been closely related to a time when the Jews had gotten their land back in 1948, or recently when they were just declared a nation, Jerusalem declared a nation. And now there's a war going on over there, possibly. And now you got a super blood moon that's super rare right next to where I feel like the tear in the firmament was. And that's why I feel like that's what the Milky Way is. And and if you go through it, in Job 38:31, this verse sticks to me, and I want to say before you get into the flat, it says it's Job sitting around his friends, and his friends are like trying to discredit God, and he says he basically says, you know, who are you guys? You know, you guys need to stand up and be men and tell me, were you there when I created it? Were you there when I created this earth? No. Can you loosen the bands on Oriah's belt? Can you bind Pleiades together, which is Pleiades, the seven sisters in the sky, which makes up, I think, the Little Dipper or the Big Dipper. I don't know which one it is, but and Orion's belt. And if you look at it, this is what a new astrology does, that they're the only stars in the sky, there's constellations that share a gravitational pull with each other. So for him to say, can you unwind Orion's belt, which means God is already telling you, I know what I did there. I know what I did in the sky. I know why those stars are close together. And he says, can you unbind Pleiades, which is another constellation in the sky that shares gravitational pull with each other. Those are the only two constellations in the sky that they say share gravitational pull with each other. How could he know that? How did Job know that?
Yeah. Hold on, Jason.
So in the Bible, it's saying that they share a gravitational pull.
Kind of like it says, can you bind the chains of Pleiades, which means those stars are so close together, they share.
Hold on. So that is a heliocentric interpretation of Bible scripture.
That's what I was saying.
He said binding them together. We don't believe in gravity, right? So
I know, but I mean, like how close they are together.
You know how close they are together? Look up. That's how close they are together. They're not billions of light years, billions of miles apart. They're just right there. They're pretty close. I think you could walk between the two if there was a walkway up there in about 5 minutes. Okay, maybe less.
Yeah.
Okay. So saying that's gravity, that's your heliocentric.
Well, no, it doesn't say gravity in the Bible.
But you,
Jason, hold on.
But I'm saying it's like that it's crazy that how would God know that those stars are those constellations in the sky do share like something with each other. I don't know if it's gravity. I don't know what it is, but they share a certain
whatever that is. It's not gravity.
God knows about it.
Yeah.
Nobody else does.
Balls. So this is cool. Let's talk about you were talking about the stars before and
the moon, because the blood moon. I was wondering, like, how do you explain that stuff, like the blood moons and the way the moon does that, like, because I see like an eclipse, how does it shade away?
It's not caused by the earth. That's provable.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out what does that then.
The moon is the biggest mystery on flat earth and globe earth. I mean, it really is a huge mystery, but there's lots of things you talk about. Rahu and Ketu, dark bodies. The moon is emitting its own light. Where is it getting its energy from? Is it, is it being powered up by the sun? I think there's definitely a connection there, but it's definitely not the shadow of the earth. That's provable because when you use a ball to a single source light and a ball to shadow another ball. It doesn't come in with a perfect curve. It comes in as an ellipse, it spreads out, and then it leaves as an ellipse. Right? So I wanted to just get back. You made a point, and I'm losing it.
Yeah, Jay, you gotta let him make the points first, and then we'll come back to something. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah. So just you guys mentioned you like numbers, so let's just look at the numbers. They tell us the size of these stars and the distances are so far away and so big that even though we're traveling billions of miles a year, there's no parallax because they're so far away. That's impossible, right? Our sun is this big, our Earth is this big, right? If the sun was right here in our atmosphere, just like a mile over your head, it would fill the entire sky, right? Boom, it fills the entire sky. Move it 93 million miles away, boom, it gets small just due to perspective, right?
No.
And so if I made it twice as far, it would be so small you couldn't see it. But let's make it 24 times farther. 24 times farther is 3 light hours. And it's scientifically provable too small to see. Okay. So the sun at 3 hours, and I'm being extremely generous. I think, a light hour, you couldn't see it, but let's say 3 light hours. Polaris is 46 times bigger. So 46 times 3 hours, round up, that's 6 light days. Okay. So if Polaris was 6 light days away and the size they tell us, it would be scientifically provable too small to see, let alone the issue with the light getting dimmer over distance. We'll just ignore that. Its size would be too small. And they tell us Polaris is 433 light years away. Okay.
Okay. They just make up crazy numbers, man.
They're making
I know, man.
So
it's crazy. Go ahead.
You guys have heard, and people that don't understand these numbers, these numbers, light years, the closest star is 4.5 light years. That's about 25 trillion miles.
That's crazy. There's no way we'd be able to see that. That's insane.
Do you guys know how much a trillion is, right? You've heard me say this.
Yeah. A trillion.
Yeah. A trillion seconds is 31,000 years.
Oh, I was trying to. 31,000. I was trying to get that Bitcoin. No, I'm just kidding.
A trillion seconds is 31,000 years. Just think of the size of that. This is just because they didn't teach us how to process these numbers, how to process this thing. They just taught us how to memorize and regurgitate. So the seeing stars is scientifically provably impossible.
So, okay. So you were talking about, so the moon in the Bible says that it's so you have a light to rule the day and a light to rule the night. So in the Bible, according to the Bible, guys, if you literally take it like that, then the moon is its own light, and then the sun is its own light. So when you were talking about you weren't sure about the moon, it's kind of a mystery. That's why the NASA moon landing and all that stuff that they're talking about. That's why, well, besides trying to get through the firmament, actually, you don't even have to get through the firmament because it says it's in the firmament. But anyways, I don't think that they could have landed on the moon because it's its own light. That's what I believe. Okay. But yeah, so it says that it's a light. It doesn't say that it's a big thing of sand or whatever.
And that just the whole idea of the moon being 238,000 miles away and reflecting sunlight off of a dusty, dirty ball. I mean, just go to the beach and look at the sun reflecting off the sand. It's not that bright, and it's not gonna light up the world. But 238,000 miles away, why are all of these clouds dark? Why are only the ones near, hint, the moon, lit? Yeah. And that's because the moon that we see is right here within our sky. It's very close, right? Kind of looks like it's right above those clouds. The thing is, though, we see the sun and the moon, in my opinion, through the firmament, and we see it as kind of like a reflection. So as you move, it moves. When you're driving down the road, it follows you. As you go up, it goes up. So I went up to these clouds in an airplane, the moon would just move higher. My view of the moon would look higher. And then if you look at the brightness of the moon, I mean, these are the astro liars, right? You have to believe that the light reflecting off of this dusty, dirty floor comes back to Earth, looks this bright, and you can read a newspaper by it in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, dude, that's crazy.
It's just insanity.
Well, I look at it this way. Why are you lying to me this long? Why are you trying to keep it so much? Why are you trying to disprove God so much? Why? is it, why don't you just say, you know what, we messed up? And I'm trying to tell, believe me, I had my daughter's birthday party last week, and I just got done watching your video like 3 times. Because when I watch, I'm the type of person that'll watch something over and over and over to get every point if I miss anything. So I'm sitting there talking. I sit down and I go, hey, I'm talking to my father-in-law, Flat Earth, your guys' thoughts, go for it. And he's like, you're crazy. And he is a Catholic Bible. Well, he believes in God. And so I said, well, do you read the Bible? He goes, not really. I said, well, okay, well, what do you believe in? He goes, I believe in the Big Bang. I said, well, right there, you already don't believe in God right there. You already don't believe in God because you're already believing in something that somebody told you, and that has no idea, has no evidence that actually really happened. It's just a theory that came out of nowhere. So I started to rip his theory apart, and I'm like, I will watch whatever you want. I will go to another Catholic sermon. I will sit there for hours and listen. If you watch David Weiss, one of these interviews with him, and he will disprove it to you right now. And he's like, yeah, like he does. It's like if you try to disprove it, and it'll unwind their whole world. And like,
it unwinds.
Oh my God,
it unwinds everything. So you're asking why people just, when people say Flat Earth is stupid, boats over the horizon prove it, sunsets over the ocean, seasons, all of the nonsense. And then we systematically take them apart and they throw up their hands. They go, well, why would they lie? Why would they lie? Governments can't even keep a BJ, a secret, right? And that is all mind control. None of that's real. Okay.
Yeah.
And why the lie is because, you guys believe, and I'm with you, that we were created. We're here under God's kingdom, right? We're in God's kingdom, and we are special. We are, a part of God, and they want us to believe that we're a random speck. We're a little amoeba on a random speck floating through a godless or distant God universe. How do you dilute something? As my co-host Matt Long says, you pour it into something, something bigger. Right? Yes. You pour it into something bigger. So you pour Flat Earth into infinite space, and you've just diluted it. So yes. They control our minds with fear. They want, if you lived here on this spinning thing flying through space, I'd be pretty afraid, an asteroid could hit, a sun could supernova, whatever, all of this craziness. That's to make us live in fear. That's to take the foundation out from underneath our feet, and to make us lost. We're lost in space. That's lost in space. That's a real thing.
So
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. So another thing, guys. So if you look at it from like a biblical standpoint, okay. So if you like in Isaiah 40, 22, he's talking
your coffee
about
cup, Dave. That's a good coffee cup right there.
What does it say today?
Yeah, woke.
So
there was a gift.
And so in Isaiah 40, 22, he's talking about he sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof as grasshoppers. So it's like almost if you look at it from a biblical standpoint, it's like the throne is above the firmament, and he's watching the earth. So what people do, if your boss was watching you at work, you're gonna probably follow all the rules, and you're gonna be doing everything correct. So from a biblical standpoint, if God was like watching everybody above the firmament, like the Bible says, then people would definitely not be sinning as much, and they'd be acting different. So they have to do this lie with us. Because like he said, they don't want to know. They want us to think that it's a godless or like you said, a distant God. But if you read the Bible and you take it literal, he would be above the firmament watching us like grasshoppers moving about. So that's definitely and then once
people say the circle of the earth, that's not a sphere. This is a circle. A pizza is a circle. We're not a pizza in space where you can fall off the edge. We are the circle of the earth. So we're in the circle of the earth. There might be more earth, beyond the shoreline here.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because
it doesn't matter what your roof looks like. Your floor is
Isaiah 22:18. Okay, Isaiah 22:18. He actually says, "He surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country." So Isaiah knows the difference between a circle and a ball. So that's good that you brought that out, Dave, because Isaiah says the circle in that verse instead of choosing to say the ball. So that's very interesting because I heard Dave say that it is a circle, not a ball. And obviously he would probably use a ball instead, right? When he's talking about the earth.
Right. And people don't realize, things, we're programmed that it's a ball. So we interpret the way we see things. Two people can look at the same thing and see something completely different based on their experience. Like when a baby sees something happen for the first time, they have nothing to base it off of. So they're building all of these experiences. And if your whole life, you go up in school, you got globes and it's a space and astronauts and all this stuff, everything you see is going to be curvature, right? So this is how our eyes work. We can see a certain distance. And then, like when I look out over the water and we have a deck of nice cumulus clouds, those clouds literally merge with the water at about 25, 30 miles away, right? I can't see the difference. So I can see 30 miles, we'll just call it. And if I look all around, I see 30 miles in all directions, right? So then if I, where'd my other one go? I lost my other one. So if I flip it over, this is how I see. This is the limit of my vision. But then a glober will go, well, I draw a line here, through space, and I see this curve, and then they think that's a sphere. That's just the limit of your vision. You can see farther up higher because the sky is higher and it goes farther, but it merges with the limit of your vision. And that's why people think they see a ball.
Well, they can't see it anyways, because even Neil Tyson deGrasse said, if you're at 120,000 feet up in the air, you're still not going to be able to see the curvature of the earth, right? You could use their own science against him. So if you're standing on the ocean, and you're definitely not going to be able to see the curvature, because even the weather balloons that are up there, he's trying to say, well, they can't see it because they're not high enough yet. And yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Right. Well, we send a balloon up to 120,000 feet. That's what we see.
Well, this picture you have behind you, I don't see curvature. Well, I just see a straight line across. And that looks
because
like
this was taken. It was super clear. There's times where just the horizon will look like it drops because the air, even at that height, becomes so thick that you don't actually see the true horizon. The true horizon might be all the way up here. Yeah. Okay. In the far, far, far distance, you kind of just imagine this haze is more land. It goes. This one is just seeing a sharp line. The horizon is an optical thing. It's not real. But think about this. When you're flying in an airplane, if you're at 39,000 feet, globe math tells you the horizon is 242 miles away. That's how far you can see before everything will go behind the curve. Okay. Well, if you're at 39,000 feet, you're at 39,000 feet. The drop is 39,050 feet. Just happens to be very close. So at 39,000 feet, the horizon should be 78,050 feet below you. 78,000 feet. People can't even imagine how high that is. Okay. Yeah. Right. And so next time you're in an airplane, look out the window across, you'll see the horizon. Look out the window on the other side, you'll see the horizon. Draw an imaginary line, and it's going to go right across your eyes. You're going to see everything right across your eyes, but you have to believe that horizon is 78,000 feet below the airplane.
Wow. Yeah, that definitely is interesting right there. Yeah, and guys, what you have to realize, the camera that he used behind there, it's not like a fisheye camera. Okay, there's fisheye lenses that even the guys at the when they did the Red Bull, yeah, that's way. It was way too curved. It was like that was impossible. So they were using a huge fisheye camera, and even like I got to bring the guy up again because I know that he's a paid actor, Freemason. Neil Tyson deGrasse was saying that look at that, guys. That is
but if you look at the land features, you can see these rivers and stuff. We looked at it. This is all New Mexico. So we live on planet New Mexico. It covers a fifth of our planet, maybe even a quarter, maybe even a third. This is planet New Mexico. They did 2 test flights before they aired it, and they all used regular cameras. And then before they did the one, they changed everything to GoPros. Yeah. So the question is, did he really say I saw the curvature because he was told to, or did he see the curvature because he was looking through a curved helmet? He had curved glass. Put a curved helmet on and then look anywhere. Everything's curved.
Yeah, for sure. Very good point on that one. Let's see. What else do we
How about
got?
this? You guys see this picture of the moon? Pretty weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's
It's
actually a watermelon.
Yeah, watermelon.
I took that picture.
Well, it's like I've seen that movie Argo. I've seen stuff like that. They can make whatever they want. They can make you believe whatever they want. They can make you believe.
You know what? If I zoomed in on this part right here, it looks
that's
crazy.
The moon.
You could. That's not the moon.
I know. They can make that look like the moon. I'm saying they can make that look like the moon if they want.
I took a picture of a close up of a red rock and stuff, and then I said it was from Mars, and you couldn't tell the difference from anything that NASA showed us.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, we've all seen the rovers on their when they're doing their little testing. You know, they're trying, and they look exactly like. Yeah, there we go, man.
Right.
What about so planets? Okay, so when you go through that and I look at this is my view on that. So they make you believe that there's all these planets, right? But if you look at it, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, these are all gods. These are all gods.
They used to be called
worshipped stars back then. Yeah. And now they're making us recognize like they're still there today. They're watching over us like gods. And that's not, I don't feel like that's right because you're kind of like, again, you're kind of making it okay to believe in all these other things and people don't believe in what actually created everything. So to feel like for someone to be like, that's wrong. I think that's wrong. You're crazy. I would say, well, you know what? Before you actually get into it, look at all of the information first and think about it. Not just go, oh, you know, you're crazy because everything's a circle. If you look at this, that's a globe. That's a circle. It's like, doesn't matter. Just because your view and your perception makes you think it's a circle. How can we see the same side of the moon every time? How come it doesn't rotate? Like if everything rotates.
It's gravitationally locked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're holding hands with the moon. Yeah. Jason, you brought up the
cool story. Yeah. Cool story, bro.
Hey, dude, Jason, you brought up the planet. So it's only planets is only mentioned one time, and it's only in the King James version. And it's and he put down the idolatrous priests whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense to the high places in the cities of Judah and the places around about Jerusalem. And them also they burned incense unto Baal, to the sun and to the moon and to the planets. But guys, planets in Hebrew, hold on, Jason. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. So in Hebrew, the word is mazalah, which means constellations or stars or the zodiac. It doesn't even mean planets. So if you look at all the other translations, they use constellations there and not planets, guys. So that's the only time in the Bible you hear it.
And just miscuing that type of translation can make somebody believe another thing than actually believe what it's really saying. So just because it sounds close to the thing doesn't mean it means the exact same thing. Don't just read the Bible.
I haven't verified this yet, but in that video I told you about, I think he said that the word planet is defined by a smaller section of an extended plane or something like that. I got to go verify that, but
kind of like extraterrestrial, kind of like how you explained that. That was a really good point. I was like, man, if you really want to come at somebody and really make them, you know, and not like me, I just boom, boom, boom. You need to believe. But you're very patient. You take the time to explain it to them, and that's why I appreciated the way you actually handled it.
They use the words. They tell us, you know, if you just look at the words, language is, you know, they cast spells on us with language, but extra terrain, extra territory, extra terra. If somebody was in this outer area and came to this inner area, you might say an extraterrestrial came from outer space.
Yes.
Definitely. Does that say Yah right there?
Yeah.
YAH.
Yeah.
Is that land right there, or is that like
no? That's the moon and the dark body that circles the moon, like Rahu and Ketu.
Like Yahweh. That's kind of crazy. How it says Yah.
There's some amazing stuff to look at.
Yeah, I also like the way you talked about how the sun doesn't set; it goes away from you. And when I start to look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this guy is like, how does he know this?
Yeah, so I actually filmed it 7 times now, or maybe even more. It has to be a super clear day. Right, I got my drone up, 4K camera, super clear. It has to be like freezing, so there's no humidity in the air. So it's like 32 degrees outside. I'm freezing my butt off. And the sun, in 5 minutes time, it went down, down, down. Now, if the earth was spinning, it would just keep on going, but it didn't. It went down, 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 and then it stopped right here. And it sat here for 10 minutes. Now, this is super sped up. And instead of dropping down, it just went away, and it can no longer push through the atmosphere. I'll show it again here. It just faded away. It should go down. Now, people could scream, it's out of focus. I don't care, right? It doesn't matter. It stopped. It goes down, down, down. And it's because of just of perspective. It's just going away. And then it sits. Here's an example. I got a glass dome on a carpet, and I'm moving a light across the top. And here it looks like it's right on the surface, but if you look, it's inside. The sun is like inside, and watch, it goes down, and it never goes below the edge. As it goes away, it just fades away. Okay. I'll bring it back. You'll see it again. This is the sunrise. All of a sudden the sun appears on the horizon. It rises up. It gets hotter and hotter because it's closer and closer as it's coming over you. And then as it goes away, it just goes down to here. And normally you can't see that because when you're on the ground, it goes behind the atmospheric deck of opacity, right? And here's the atmospheric deck of opacity. The clouds, or just the more, the vapor in the air, it gets lower and lower and thicker and thicker. When you're looking across here, it just becomes opaque, and the sun just goes beyond it, right? So even if there's no clouds, that atmosphere becomes so thick, just like I showed you, that the sun can't see, from the ground. I call it a ramp of opacity. So if I'm standing on the ground, let's say that I can see 150 miles, whatever the number is, doesn't matter. If I was 100 feet in the air, maybe I could see 160 miles. If I was 200 feet in the air, maybe I could see 170 miles. The higher up I get, the farther I can see, because the air gets thinner and thinner and clearer. So you have this deck of opacity. So here's the, let me get my props. Here's the deck of opacity. And right. So if I can do this. So here's the deck of opacity, and the sun is just going away. Right. And you see it go like that. But because of perspective, right, the clouds that I see above me here, when they're over here, I actually see them down here. So due to perspective, that deck of opacity gets crushed into the equator, into the horizon. And so when I see that sun, it looks like it's going like this. And then it just sets. But in reality, it's just going straight.
And everybody goes, well, what is it? What is it? And I say, this is what I say. I said, there's some things that God wants you to know, and there's some things that God doesn't want you to know, and there's some things you need to learn.
Here's the best way I can describe. Look at this. This looks like a focus point of light. Remember when you had a magnifying glass and you were burning ants as a kid?
Yeah.
Don't deny it.
I just did that last week.
Just last week. So next time you do it, take your kids out and make that little focus point, and then look at it. Zoom in on it. It looks like a sun. It really does. And then if you lifted that up a foot off the ground, well, it's gone. Well, actually, that focus point of light is right there in the air. Think of the dome as the lens. And the light is being focused in to a point where we all have our personal relationship with the sun. Right. I put a lot of, is it called astrotheology? Where you can say a lot of the same things about the sun, the sun, as you can of the son. So here's my view. And I think this goes right along with Christianity. That the stars may be in the heavens above. That's where our souls are. Okay. That fits. Right. And then we take turns manifesting, here on earth. So we're in these meat suits with a soul in us, which is a part of God. And we're here expanding the mind of God. And the sun might be the light of God, right? And when Jesus was here, Jesus, or, whatever religion you're following is coming from, is the soul that's in the sun, is the creator. I mean, think about the sun. The sun warms our hearts, feeds us, creates everything, gives us lights, helps, makes it so we can see. When if we're standing watching the sunset on the water and we're a couple hundred feet apart, you'll see the sun walking on the water right to your feet, and I'll see the sun walking to the water on my feet. Neither of us can see each other's, right? So you can kind of say we're having a personal relationship with the sun. I think all of this ties together And I think it
Well-
fits perfectly with the Bible.
Well, also the Bible on Joshua 10:13, talking about the sun, it says, and the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. So that
Gave
is
him an
saying
extra
that,
day. Joshua
that is-
prayed for an extra day, and God gave it.
yeah,
to him. And
but it
actually,
says the
in
sun.
China, in history, there's an actual recorded day around that time that the day was. They said it was the longest day ever. So,
Okay, but the most important thing about this with the flat earth thing is that it says the sun stood still. That means that the sun is moving. That's how I take it, and not the
Right.
earth.
And if the earth was moving and it stopped, all of the oceans would be displaced.
Yeah,
Dude.
dude.
Everything would just besides us all being dead and everything turning liquefying.
Yeah.
It's an impossibility. Now
Instead of the enemies
stopping. Yeah.
Instead of just the enemies being destroyed, everybody would be destroyed, right?
Well, they say they have polar ice caps, right? So if they're melting on one side, right, and the other side, the top is melting on the other side, so you kind of would get like a tip top, right? So, like usually they say that this could happen probably, but wouldn't that just, we would be, like you said, it would be total devastation. But they're saying that if we're spinning like that, I can't believe it. I just can't believe that.
Think about this.
Hey, go ahead.
Think about this. So you have a single source light, the sun, and you have the earth, which is a sphere, they tell us. So where am I? I'm over here. So how much of the earth would the sun light up? You can test it yourself with a ball and a light. How much? 10%
Just
of the
like
earth?
maybe like half of it.
Exactly half of it. What if I tilted the earth like this? How much of it would light up?
Exactly half of it.
Exactly half. What if I moved
that
the
half
sun
of
over
it.
here? What if I moved the sun over here and rotated the earth like this? How much of the earth would be lit up?
Only the top part of it.
Only half. Half of the earth.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Always doing half.
Wherever
all
the
time.
sun is, it only lights up exactly half. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But we can go look at time and date, right? These are the patterns, projected onto a flat earth map of how much of the earth is lit by the sun at different times of the year. Okay. So this is July, and then this is December. And in July, so in March and September, that's the equinox, half of the earth is lit up. That matches with the globe model. But in July, let me wait for this one to start going again. So in December, it kind of wraps around. It's more than half. And then in June and July, it's less than half. That's impossible on a ball. And here's just me moving a light over a dome, creating the same patterns. Okay. You see how the light wraps around when we move it out, the light wraps around. See it wrapping around? That's how you get the 24-hour light in Antarctica, but not sun. You get light because the light is wrapping around what has to be a dome.
That's cool. That's really
like
cool.
they said, the ozone layer. They're like, oh, there's an ozone layer that's being depleted, but it probably it's like they're trying to crack. I think they just try to crack through this firmament. It ain't gonna happen.
Cool story.
Like they were
Yep. So Jason, well, actually, what you were saying, that was one of the questions I think a lot of people would have is how do they have 24 hours of light in Antarctica? So I'm glad you answered that. That's a great thing.
You just mic dropped it right there. That was a good one, Dave. That's one I did not see.
And in Antarctica, you don't see the sun for 24 hours. It's still light, twilight, because that's the sun wrapping around the dome. Think about this. When the sun rises, next time the sun rises, go to the back side of your house, the west side of your house, and even before the sun rises, you can read the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
What is lighting? It's lighting up the dome. It's lighting up. The sun is like a Tesla coil, and it's lighting up the dome. Maybe the reason the sky is blue is because there's mostly nitrogen up there. And when you fluoresce nitrogen, it fluoresces blue. A nitrogen fluorescent light is a blue. Is a blue light.
I was gonna ask you, Dave. Do you believe that there's water above the firmament?
Sure seems that way, huh?
That's what I was wondering, because in the Bible it says that there's water above the firmament. So that is something I was going to ask you.
Did you guys ever see the Go Fast rocket?
I've seen it before, but I'd like to definitely see it again.
Yeah. So if you find a full recording where you hear the sound, it's going up at 20. It's going up, and we have an uninterrupted feed, unlike NASA, which is cut, camera angle, movie studio.
Of course.
This is going up, and then all of a sudden it goes kerplunk. It literally sounded like a stone dropping into a pond. It made like it went in, but I don't think it. I think it hit like plasma, right? And we had this. I think it was a real whistleblower from NASA saying that it turns into like plasma. And it gets thicker and thicker and thicker until it becomes solid, and then there's water above that.
Yeah.
Right. But look, we saw the moon. See the moon right there? This was in Arizona. Okay. And the moon was over New Zealand at that time. So the
Is this guy independent? Is it an independent guy that just shot a rocket up? I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, it was independent. I got some premiere starting here.
It's all good.
Bing. Right there.
I'm trying to stop something. There we go. Yeah, so there you go.
Wow.
Fascinating stuff. So again, anything above as high as we can go as civilians or beyond the shoreline of Antarctica is speculation. We can use things like the Bible. We can use things like experiments to figure it out. We can look at ancient history records, all sorts of stuff. But do we know 100%? No, we're guessing.
No. Yes, we're definitely guessing. But there's a lot of stuff like in the Bible that actually talks about, there's like a third heaven that Paul goes to. In Revelation, they're talking about like the glass, the glass below them when you do get into heaven. So there's actually some good stuff on that. And then also
NASA is anything that's ran by a Nazi, I ain't gonna listen to. All these operations you're talking about, you're trying to break the firmament and on Wouter von Braun's on his tombstone it quotes the Bible, like basically showing you, hey man, it's Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. That's actually and right there it's right. He's just saying right there. There's a God and there is a firmament and we didn't break it and we didn't go to the moon, we didn't go to Mars.
Now, why do you think
a lot of people are going to die trying to travel there?
Was that like a death wish, whistleblowing by his family, or was it revelation of the method where they always have to tell us?
Yes,
right? I'm going along with they always have to tell us, so they put that out there to like let's just drive them a little crazy. We'll give them a little more information. Yes. They always have to tell us so not to break our free will.
Yes, and guys, let me just go over one thing real quick that I wanted to do. It's 2 Thessalonians 2:9 verses 9 through 12. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and all righteous deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, and they might be saved. And for this reason, God will send them strong delusion that they should believe the lie, and they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth and not pleasure in the unrighteousness. I think, guys, I mean, I'm not saying this 100%. Obviously, I'm just saying that this could be the strong delusion that was sent by God, the globe. And if you read the Bible word for word and lay it out, it actually is talking about it being flat, or it talks about a firmament. And this could be the deception, because people, as soon as I start reading like Bible verses to people that are actually Christian about, the order, for example, of how the earth was, or how it was created, how creation happened, they start getting all defensive and mad. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's an easy way to get into an argument with someone as soon as you bring up the flat earth compared to the globe.
There's two versions in life. There's one, that's it, that basically derived from two things. Is there a creator, or did we just happen, right? So if you just think a lot of stuff does it, and if you think there's not a conductor to this symphony, you're crazy, because we're too complex. Our simple cell is more complex than any computer, any type of, it's just like, it's crazy. And not to believe that there's a creator is that's first of all, that's blasphemy, and it really discredits him. And if you don't believe it was created in 6 days, and you have to believe what it says.
Guys, what's the verse in the Bible? Maybe you guys know, because I always quote it and I don't know which one it is. Basically, it says, once you I'm paraphrasing. Once you see my creation, which is the earth, you no longer have any excuse to deny my existence. And that's what the elite are trying to do. They don't want you in a situation like when you see flat earth, there's no more denying the creator. I denied the creator. I believed in heliocentrism. I believed in evolution. And then I saw the flat earth. I'm like, oh, darn it. It's fine. Right. And, there's no denying it. Once you see it, there's no denying it. Now, I love what you guys are doing. You guys are giving your views on the Bible. Never once did you even ask me what my view is or tell me what my view should be. Right.
Oh, no.
I think everyone has their own personal relationship with the creator, and that's up to them. Now, up to you guys. You guys are doing a great service. You're helping people see what you see. And then it's up to them if they want to go down that path. That's the way everyone should be.
Yeah.
If you come across somebody that has a whole nother belief in God, if they're sharing it with you and they're a good person, in my book, that's good, right? I think we have two rules here, God-given rules. Never break anyone's free will, okay?
Yes.
Be good to your neighbor. And I put that together. And
don't sell your soul.
Don't sell your soul. Thank you. You've been listening.
And I'm telling you,
love that God. And then you got to love thy God with all your heart and soul. You got to love God because he's the one that created us. He's the one.
How could you not love God? Look at this place.
It's awesome. But I always tell people this. I said, look, whether you believe in a globe or flat earth is not going to, it has nothing to do with your salvation. It has nothing, but it helps you have more trust and more solidify your foundation in Christ because of this, because of flat earth and because of the lies, because you start to see, wow, man, they're going to flip it like this. I got to believe somebody that was actually there. I can't believe somebody that's not there. It's his story, history. It's his story, not mine. I gotta believe someone that was there.
Yes. I think there's a verse about men being liars, but I'm trying to see. God forgive her. Okay, here we go. So this is kind of directed towards all the scientists out there and atheists that people are believing. God forbid. Yeah. Let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art. So basically, like, every man obviously breaks the 10 commandments. Every man is a liar. But once you see it written in the book, the Holy Bible, that it is truth. So that's why that's what we try to do here. I have so many Bible verses to back up what Dave is saying, that it's truth, man. It's like that's what we seek, is the truth. So
Dave's the type of Dave is the doctor that tells you flat out, you got cancer. I'm sorry, you're not gonna live. You better prepare for your next life. Not the doctor that says, "No, go on home, man. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Just get some exercise, get some rest."
I agree with you, but I would never tell anybody they got cancer.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have someone tell me the truth.
Toxicity. Right? Well, every disease is just toxicity. And you need to detox. That's it.
I'd rather have somebody tell me the flat out truth and tell me right to my face, this is how it is, and lie to me and keep lying to me and keep lying to me, and then like make me feel like I'm the crazy one for believing it.
Right. Yeah. Hey guys, I want to share my app for a second. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. I think this is really a great proof. Can you see that?
Yes. Wow, man. How did you do this stuff? Because I'm so new to this. This is cool, man. Thank you, Dave. Right on, man.
So you guys are familiar with my app and how the sky is the perfect clock. The sun keeps track of the hours and the days.
Yeah, the Cancer and Capricorn.
The weeks, the months, the stars keep track of the seasons and the years. And and the seasons happen by the sun moving in between the tropics. We're heading towards our inner northern summer because the sun is close. It's close to us. It circles around. It never gets too far from Alaska, so it never sets if you're in Alaska or Norway. Okay. And in Antarctica, it's pretty dark in Antarctica most of the time, right? Mm-hmm. I think they have their a couple weeks of no sun at all in June. But if you're here in the Arctic, what is the sun doing?
Yeah, it's moving.
It's arcing around you. It's arcing around you, right? If I'm out here in Antarctica, what's the sun doing? It's not arcing around me. It's antarcing away from me.
Yeah.
Antarctic, Arctic.
Yeah. And as you
sense?
guys know, on the other podcast, we talked about Antarctic Treaty, you know, so they just don't even let you
yeah.
try to go over there, you know.
How come you can't fly over there? But in the Bible, if you those verses, Josh, it says God gave the stars and the moon, the sun, the sky for seasons and for signs. Okay. And when you put the astrological view, because this is probably what God looks at when he's up there and sees that view of the earth. The signs are the constellations are a story in the sky. And when they fall like that, you got it good, Dave. That app is really cool, man. I really like this app because it looks as if I was God looking down at the earth and see what was going on. And when you put it with those astrological signs like Libra, and it like you said, it slows down and stays in that for a month. And then because the constellations move a little bit faster than the sun does, right? Like than the actual sun, right?
The constellations, they're lapping the sun once a year. So right now, the sun is, where's the sun? The sun's right here. And this is the Tropic of Cancer.
Gemini. It's in Gemini right now.
It's in Gemini, and Cancer is going to catch up to it for the next month. And it'll slowly fade through Cancer into, is that Leo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
yes, sir.
And so when they say it's in the Tropic of Cancer, you know, why is it only in the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer? I never hear about it other places, and that's because it's only in there once a year. So if I jump forward a month, so now we're in June, you can see that the sun is here, and this is the Tropic of Cancer. If I turn it on, you'll see that the sun is right there in the Tropic of Cancer. Then over here is the Tropic of
Taurus.
Capricorn.
No, I'm sorry, Capricorn.
Capricorn is opposed to Cancer. So let me turn that off, and I'll jump the sun 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sun goes out to December or January, and that's when we're having our winter because the sun is farther away from the inner north. Australia is having its summer because the sun is high in the sky over its head. And if I turn on the tropics, boom, we're right in the Tropic of Capricorn.
Wow, man.
So the sun is in the Tropic of Capricorn.
And that's how I know God is so precise. That is so precise. It's super precise. Yeah. It's like you can't.
So think about this. You know, all the stars, we're whizzing and corkscrewing through space. The stars never change, right?
No.
Eclipses, which are impossible, right? An eclipse is insanity, right? Where you have the sun is 400 times farther than the moon, and then the moon, you know, is closer, and then they eclipse each other perfectly. I don't know how to do it. The chances that it's happening are a bazillion to one. Okay, yes. A bazillion to one. That's for it happening once. Well, guess what? It happens all the time. And every 18 years, the cycle repeats. The same eclipses happen again and again and again. You know, that's one of the things that people come up with. They say, you can't predict, you know, you need the globe to predict the eclipses, solar eclipses and lunar eclipses. Well, long before the globe ever came into play, everyone knew the earth was flat. You guys know about the Antikythera mechanism? This thing was found off of Greece in the ocean. It's like 2,000 years old, and they X-rayed it. You know, they CAT scanned it, and they rebuilt it, and they built this machine that shows you where the planets are, where the sun and the moon are, the phases and the eclipses, and it goes again. It shows you for any date. Okay.
And people think that people back then were very stupid and primitive. They were
stupid and primitive. Idiocracy is a documentary about our time. Yeah.
Oh, just wow, believing everything. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I never seen that. That is really cool. What is that?
It's called the Antikythera mechanism.
Antikythera. That's amazing. That's awesome.
So yeah, it's amazing, and people just ignore it. People just like, oh, you know, well, whatever. It's crazy.
So I was gonna ask you because I was watching one of the podcasts that you were on, and one of the, like, I guess the guy's son came in with the dinosaur shirt on. I don't mean to go off topic. Did you want to keep going with I was gonna ask you about, do you believe like in dinosaurs, or do you believe that the earth is, 13 billion years old? Or do you believe
I have 100% proof that the earth is a globe. Here we go. There it is. Proof. This is the best proof I have of the globe. So dinosaurs, the dinosaurs that they show us are structurally impossible. Talk to anybody. How get 2 Stegosaurus dolls and tell me how they mated. All right, they're nonsense. They're made from a single bone they found on the top of a mountain, which could be a whale bone, right? During the Great Flood.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, Nephilim bone.
They extrapolate. They extrapolate nonsense. They've never found a dinosaur skull. Here's the thing. There's a royal guy that wrote a book or a paper on the theory of dinosaurs. No one had, in the 1800s, no one had ever found a dinosaur. Never heard about it with the Egyptians, any construction to history. No one's ever mentioned dinosaurs. This guy writes a paper on it. And in a year to the day, he discovers the first dinosaur.
Wow. That's
and
crazy.
They say, fossil fuels are tied in with that. And then since they're running out, we are not running out of anything. Right. We have more water, fresh water than we have in ocean water. It's like people don't understand that they will mess your brain up when they tell you this stuff. We're on a drought. We're gonna go to war over water.
Right. You know about Gaddafi and the Great Man-Made River, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah,
yes.
So I have a video. It's called "The Great Man-Made River" by Muammar Gaddafi. Just look it up on my channel, DITRH, and it'll bring tears to your eyes. It was amazing. He tapped into primary water, the waters below, just like the waters above.
There's like an aquifer.
Yeah, well, not an aquifer, an ocean, a cosmic ocean, right?
Wow.
He tapped into more water that's probably bigger than the Earth. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So the water's above and the water's below, as above, so below.
What about the age of the Earth? How old do you think the Earth is?
God, I used to laugh when people said 5,000 years, young Earth. That's ridiculous.
6,600, yeah.
I can't prove it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try because I was never there.
Yeah. And the idea about dinosaurs, yeah, there was giants here, and there's probably some giant lizards and crocodile type things, but a Stegosaurus and the Brontosaurus and all that stuff, nonsense. There was big animals here, but they were here not millions and millions of years ago. They were here, hundreds of years ago, or maybe less. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, also, like Jason was talking about, like if you talk about the Nephilim in the Bible, which is like Genesis 6. When angels, had sex with humans, they had giants, and they were eating they said that the giants or the Nephilim were eating the birds and eating the animals and eating the humans. So that could be a way that my dad used to tell us that could have been what the dinosaurs are biblically.
Also, too, and people were living a lot. They were living what it says Methuselah was like 926,
40.
How do you explain his age, the people's age back then? Because the earth or the firmament and outside was water, a lot of water, more water. There was more oxygen inside of our planet. And then God was like, you know what? You guys are too smart for your own good. You guys are getting really weird. So I'm going to go ahead and just load some of that water in here, flood the whole earth, because there's no way that much rain for 40 days is going to flood the whole earth. He put some water instead of from above and below. And now there's less water. Now the sun hits us more. We age faster because of that reason, because there's no more, the firmament's not all gone. The water's not all gone, but it's just less. And now the sun penetrates better.
I want to show you one thing. I'm going to jump back into the app for a second.
Yes, please.
So if you go in the app and you hit, the frequently asked questions, but it brings up all the questions that anyone's going to ever have, and all of the stuff's answered there. But if you swipe to the right here, we have on the bottom right, we have biblical flat Earth.
DITRH.
If you hit that, up comes a playlist. Oops, I'm not logged into my YouTube. But if you hit biblical flat Earth, up comes a playlist of videos, all on biblical stuff. Amazing, right? Even if you're not a Bible believer, it's fascinating stuff, and you guys will love it. And then the one I want to point to is over here, full length videos. And if I hit that, open in YouTube, hold on, up comes a playlist of videos, but go to the very bottom, and that's the one, the 1 through 7, the lost history of flat Earth. That's the 5-hour one. So if anyone's looking for it, just go in the app. It's there under full length videos, right?
Okay.
Also, something else I added to the app: books. We have all sorts of books.
Nice.
I was going to add the Bible in here. What do you think? That's a flat Earth.
Yeah,
book, right?
heck yeah, that's a great
Dude,
idea.
I would definitely. Oh, the voyage. Hey, I got that actually. Douglas Falk is coming on June 18th. That flat Earth book right there, the voyage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be on. And he's that guy's a nice guy. I met him through Sophia as well.
Yeah, I
So
think
I have
met
that.
him also.
He just sent me that book. Yeah, he's like.
Yeah, he doesn't even know it's on here, so let him know it's on here.
He's going to be so excited.
I actually just added this. You know, this is one of my favorite coffee table books. If you guys, and I show this in all my podcasts. You know how emergency landings prove flat Earth. This is a coffee table book. You put that on your coffee table. Anyone that comes over and picks it up and looks at it for a couple minutes becomes a flat earther.
Dave,
Okay?
Dave, this is one of my questions that my father-in-law had to me, and I couldn't answer. Is the flights okay? If he's saying, so you're telling me that everyone who is a pilot signs some affidavit or something that swears that they can't tell that they'll never speak the truth of flat Earth? And I said, no. If you look at it, your flight patterns are always going to be the same. They go up to the jet stream up there. They hit the jet stream and they just go a lot faster than. But it's always the same path. They don't ever change their direction. And if the Earth is moving, wouldn't you have to change
at 1,000
your
miles
path?
an hour?
But if you're flying and the Earth is spinning, wouldn't you have to change your flight path all the time to go to that same spot? Even because people didn't have GPS back in the day when they sailed, so you're following a path that you always follow.
Dude, you're trying to explain how a plane could fly on a spinning ball flying through space. Don't bother. It's the dumbest thing ever.
I know, but it's like I'm trying to explain.
I mean, it's like I love hearing people try to explain what the globe model is. It's like you sound like an insane person, right?
Yes.
Think about cruise ships in Australia. This is happening in Australia right now. Okay, upside down, upside down. Everything's upside down, right? And that's if we were just stationary. We're spinning and upside down. Okay,
1,000 miles an hour, guys.
1,000 miles. All of the water would go to the equator if we were spinning at 1,000 miles an hour.
And then the sun is moving 515,000 miles an hour, right? And then the sun is 90 million miles away.
93.
Oh my goodness.
93.
Well, I'm just saying that he was asking me to explain the flights. Then what I said, because you said NASA runs all the flight paths, so they don't.
So here's the thing: most pilots know. Most long distance pilots know, but they don't talk about it because they'll lose their jobs, right? And we've proven that. We interviewed a KLM pilot, and she was fired the next day. Okay. Yeah, she was telling us, you know, we could see the sun on the moon, and this is the path we take, and the sun doesn't go down, and blah 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 blah. You know, we did a whole show with her. Next day, grounded and fired, gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
man, when you have a job like that, I guess you have an allegiance to
right.
keep the
Dude,
company.
And it's like the military, bro. It's like in the army. Like you're gonna, if you start finding, you know, if you have a top security clearance and you start exposing that on a podcast, you're gonna not only be fired, but you're gonna be jailed in Fort Leavenworth. You know, so I totally get it.
Right.
Go ahead.
Crazy. No, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, also, guys, another thing is, like we talked about on the other podcast, is like the curvature, like every 1 mile is 8 inches squared. So Dave has some pretty good slides on that, you know. That's still Australia in the background.
Yeah.
You guys got to think about it. Okay. 1 gallon of water is 8.34 pounds, right? So how many gallons of water are on this globe upside down, spinning 1,000 miles an hour and just holding to the earth because of gravity?
What's funny is people say flat Earth is crazy. Try to describe the globe Earth. It's the nuttiest thing ever, right?
For sure.
I'm claiming that water finds its level inside its container when at rest. You're claiming that the water sticks to the outside of a ball in a space vacuum, spinning and corkscrewing through infinite space. Are you freaking kidding me? That's how much the spell is so strong that people just they can't see. It's unbelievable. It's unreal. Hey, airplanes fly over a globe like this. I claim airplanes fly across the Earth plane. Airplane, not air globe, right?
Yeah.
This is wait. And you got to remember, this ball is spinning and hurling through space while this airplane's flying upside down.
And then, Dave, also another thing that's interesting, if you're an astronaut, right, and you're sitting here on Earth, and then they tell you that you were about to fly out of the atmosphere and it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. And then we're moving at 515,000 miles an hour, and it's 2,500 degrees. And then there's a belt that you can die from radiation. And all of a sudden you're like, well, all right, let's do it. Let's sign up. That sounds insane to me that you would ever. Now, I've been in the military and I've signed up for, if I had to go to combat, I would do it, and that's, but dude,
right.
Come on, guys. Really?
Hey, we're all going to die right now. Let's all go. Come on, let's go.
Dude, that is
NASA advisor,
insanity.
An astronaut, a science fiction writer, a movie director, and administrator of the Apollo project, all together in Hollywood just before the Apollo. Just a coincidence, okay?
Well, there's a video that you can watch where Von Braun is actually talking, and then behind him, it looks just like what you have going on right now. There's like a green screen behind him, and it looks like, I don't even know if they had green screens back then, but it looks like the moon is behind him, and it looks exactly like what the actual
background.
Right. Von Braun, the German scientist that was brought over in Project Paperclip, which I'm calling BS on because I don't believe there was a space race. It's all just a story. He's an actor from Hollywood.
Yes.
But he wrote a book in 1957 called Mission to Mars, right? Called Project Mars. And it was a story about people that went to Mars to start a colony there, led by a guy named Elon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right?
SpaceX.
And this is Elon's
Musk.
rocket that he's going to Mars in. Do you see a similarity?
Yes,
right?
Definitely. Yes.
Well, it's kind of similar, but it's not pointy as much.
His name was Elon?
Elon. That's the guy's name, right?
Oh, wow, man. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, a month ago or so, tweeted, I want to redesign the Mars rocket and make it pointier.
Yeah, so
Right.
they have to, like you were saying, they have to kind of disclose little stuff to us.
Right.
I guess it's for their conscience or whatever, or their karma. I don't know how what they, and I know I think that might be how they try to,
Right.
why they do it. But, so we got, okay. So you guys, $56 million a day is the budget of NASA, right?
65 now, I think.
65 now. Okay, guys. So so $65 million a day is going to NASA, guys, just to let you guys know. So that is just a big, what do you think that is, Dave? What's your opinion?
So
on that?
I don't believe $65 million is going to NASA. I believe they're taking $65 million away from us because we're their little slaves.
That's what I think so too.
NASA doesn't need money. Whatever they need, they just get it because they're run by the bankers that run this world. And they just do their stage fakery. I don't know maybe NASA needs $1 million a day. I don't know. I don't even think they need
the
that
lie
much.
going.
Their production,
constant lie going.
Their production is awful, right? Give me $1 million a day and I'll show you what I can do. Right. It's insanity how, and again, all of the mistakes that they make, are they doing it on purpose or are they just that bad?
Well, they just think that people are that stupid to believe that, because I know that gold, titanium, all these things are made up of all of the satellites floating in the sky or out there. But look at it, it's like when they come back in the atmosphere, there's no way they're gonna burn up before they even get there. See,
it's that easy. They're that bad at it.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Yeah, guys, you guys have to watch the video of the NASA guy that was in the space station when he dropped the ball on accident, which was the globe Earth. He drops it and it falls to the ground, and then they try to grab it real quick. Yeah, there's a lot of videos that are like.
So they use different types of fakery when they're doing stuff. Like this one where he drops the ball.
There it is.
Now, a lot of times they love their blow up balls because guess what you can do with a blow up ball? You can fill it with helium. Just the right balance so it floats. So they have a real object that they're playing with. Then other times they're playing with CGI objects, augmented reality objects, where they're just manipulating.
Look at the lady in the middle. She's like, no, don't grab her.
Just let it go, right?
Yeah, don't grab her. Don't.
Look at her hand.
If you ever put helium in a balloon or something, a ball to make it neutrally buoyant, it's really hard to get it exactly right. So while they're doing it, he's holding it, he's squeezing some helium out of it, and it's not neutrally buoyant anymore. And he dropped it. You saw the one where the guy was in the bathroom and he was fixing a screw and he dropped it and it went kerplunk and it hit the ground and he looked down and he went to pick it up. It literally just fell. So we called NASA out on that, made tons of videos on it. And NASA puts out an article that sometimes the space station hits pockets of gravity.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Pockets of gravity. Wow, that's insane.
That's what they say. I mean, that's the nonsense that they come out with. You guys have seen this ball with helium, fake stuffed animal. Oh, there it is. And now she's manipulating it. Okay. This was live to children, right? And they beamed it in. They even had this little beaming thing and a beaming noise, right? And this is what they're doing. They're manipulating objects that aren't there. They either have contacts on or a screen behind the camera.
Like the Google, Google has it already where you can put the Google glasses on and you can see. So if they have contacts on, that the technology is already there, guys, for that.
Yeah,
for sure.
How people can still believe in the globe, it's fascinating. It's very similar. I don't want to say too much because it's going on YouTube, but with what's going on in the world today, people just believe. In Australia, there was, I'm not going to be very careful, one person died of the thing, right? And they locked down the whole country. And then since they started doing the other thing,
yes,
280 people died.
Yes. So it's interesting. Yeah. All that stuff. Yeah. We had a show on that before too. And I didn't put it on YouTube, obviously, but it's so interesting, man.
Yeah.
So interesting. All right. Let's see this guy right here.
These guys, first, look at their pants. Look at these guys. What are they wearing? They got diapers on. What's underneath their pants? They got these utility belts. What is your pants going to fall down in space? Right. Right. And they're hanging from wires from waist harnesses. Okay. There's a whole apparatus above them. Right.
Oh, gosh.
And you can just see, and they always have their shirts. They're always buttoned up too high. If you're in space, it's like unbutton your fucking, excuse me. Sorry for swearing. Unbutton your friggin' shirt. Okay.
Yes.
So it goes on and on.
Wow.
Yes,
it looks like he's sitting on something and he's just, he's like the string puppets, like the Pinocchio, like you're just holding them like this and you can play with them like this. Right. It looks like that.
I mean, sometimes when they do their flips, they get tangled. Other times, they're in green screen studios. You guys have all seen this. This guy floats by. He's hanging from a harness. The layer that's supposed to get rid of the harness didn't work.
There you go.
Crazy, right?
Wow, dude. Yeah, you could see the harness right there.
Background. Steve, get out of you're in the shot, Steve. What are you doing?
Right. And then you saw this. This is augmented reality again. That lemon does not exist. It's not there. It's a virtual reality object.
Oh, wow. Look at her hand.
Hand goes right through it.
Yeah.
Not there. God. And now they'll claim, that's because of the cosmic rays are affecting the film, and it glitched out in that area. They make up the dumbest excuses. Right?
Well, yeah. How does the film even make it through the Van Allen radiation belt that they talk about?
It's digital. It's got gamma rays and digital.
Oh, okay. So
that way, you can say anything you want. This is what's really happening. This truck doesn't exist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is how easy it is to do things.
Yep. Quick and easy.
Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah.
Lies, man. I cannot stress enough. I've been telling everybody I've been talking lately because I used to be a liar. And because I used to be a liar is because I used to believe this stuff right here that you're showing, and it makes it okay to lie. It makes it okay to lie. And now I'm seeking the truth. And I feel like if you're lying to me, I don't want to talk to you about anything anymore. I don't like it because it's horrible. This is all this CGI movie,
This right here, that scene, it looked like it was going across, but they were really going straight down. Okay, because they're hanging and it's just the orientation of the camera. And then what they can do with green screens now is insane. Look at his reflection on that piano that's not even there.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Piano's not there. Look at the how fine it is. Like his hair doesn't even blitz out, and he's in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
So
you can do so much with it.
Seeing through glass, all sorts of things. It's incredible, and this is the stuff that we know about. I don't even think NASA's using stuff this good because their stuff stinks. It's the worst.
I know. I saw the video of Buzz Armstrong, and you can actually see through him, just like how you saw that lemon or Neil. I'm sorry, not Buzz Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, you can actually see through him with the moon landing, which is just like how you just saw the hand kind of try to grab the lemon, you know.
If you could compare this to the Chaldeans and the magicians in the Bible.
Transparent. His head was transparent as they faded him into this scene.
These are modern day magicians.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Hocus pocus, alakazam. There you go. Right. You got your little, wow, he's like a ghost.
Here, check this out. This is a film by what's his name in Florida? The YouTube guy, whatever. Big Christian, huge Christian. But he got the sun right in between, above, below, behind, in front of the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here, ask me to explain this. It's just a focus point, into our reality, and this is where he's seeing it. But try to explain this in a heliocentric world. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Oh wow!
No. Look at that.
That doesn't. And like again, guys, like going away, just going away, not setting, not. And like you said, there's more. Is that enough?
Here it is going away. It's just going away. Super clear, super dry. And it just getting smaller. The fool on the hill sees the sun going down, but the eyes in his head see the world spinning round.
Oh, is that the
Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney. So this is most people, you don't normally get to see this because the atmosphere will block it and it'll just disappear from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that the Beatles did know how to tune into your frequencies in your body with their type of music. So the frequency that they hit, I think it was a 420 frequency or something that made you buy their music. The water in your body actually reacted with their frequency in their music, and it made you want to buy their music. So
they weaponized the music. 432 is the natural.
There you go, man, dude, man. I'm not.
And then the Rockefellers changed it to 440, which literally makes you sick. It goes against the resonance of the earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is this that you're showing us right here?
This is just a top. You know what funny is? Before I was a flat earther, I've seen this skiing. Okay, early in the morning. It's just where the sun is. They call it sun dogs, but the sun is manifesting in 3 spots.
Looks like a cross to me.
And well, it does kind of, and it's actually also up here, which is cut off. But you can't do this without a dome, right? If you look at how the sun reacts through glass domes, it's
where is that at?
So this is just
was it Tahoe? You said
it might have been Tahoe. You could find
top of a mountain where
sundog Russia. That happens in Russia a lot, right?
Okay,
but a lot of them kind of match what we see. Looking through a dome. This is more evidence of some sort of dome, if you ask me.
Like a rainbow, because it bows.
Right.
Yeah, it's an arc.
Like bouncing off the light on the top and the light through the water. It's making a covenant bow that says, I will not flood your dome ever again. Because you're filling it. If you're going to crack the firmament and bring in water, you're filling something up. You're not, and it's something that could be filled up. It's not something that could just run off. And I'm a firm believer now that, man, Dave, thank you so much for all this information on this stuff, man. I am blown away on how I'm glad that you did all the dirty work for me so that I can take the time and just believe,
Hey, the best place to find me, guys, is the flatearthpodcast.com. That's it. Just if you want to just remember one thing, the flatearthpodcast.com. The link to the app. The app is the highest rated app in the App Store and the Google Play Store. In Google Play, they've already a knockoff by the Flat Earth Society people. I think it's Ron Media Group is the name. They stole my graphics. They stole my name. But the app stinks. Get the app. I think it's free if you want. It's horrible. It's made by a bunch of Globers, and I kind of know who did it. And but don't send me an email telling me my app sucks because it's not my app. Right?
Okay, yeah, guys. Can you please say it for them clearly because we have some audio on Spotify and Apple. So go ahead.
So it's easy to find on Google, on Apple. Sometimes it doesn't show up on Google Play, but Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. It's by Blue Water Bay. The rating is even with the trolls in there, it's the highest rated app in the App Store. It's $2.99. It's a one-time charge. There is a pop-up once a day that says, would you like to subscribe for 99 cents? You can exit out immediately. There's no ads. nothing, and you still get everything. You don't have to subscribe, but if you want to, if you love it that much and you want me to improve it more, feel free to subscribe, but you don't have to.
Subscribe. I recommend everybody subscribe.
One-time charge. It's like a half of a beer, and you don't pee it away in 20 minutes. You have
and guys, the important thing is Dave is not here trying to make millions of dollars off an app. Okay, he's just here to try to expose the lies and expose the evil out there. As you can tell by his demeanor and the way he, like, if you see him on different podcasts, he's not here trying to just bash, Bible bash you or bash you with Flat Earth. He's just trying to explain what he's gone through. He's trying to actually put it on an app so you can literally see what he's talking about, and then also all the different videos. So it kind of gets you. What it is there's a foundation. That's why it's hard to just walk into a room full of 100 people and say, "Hey guys, the Earth is flat." There has to be a foundation, and what this app does, it builds your foundation. You can ultimately start reading. If you're Christian, start reading or anybody, read the Bible, see how it corresponds and correlates with what is going on. It's hard to erase and rebuild, if your foundation's all NASA and all,
and people, literally the app is $3. Okay. So it should be a no-brainer, but the thing is, it cost me a lot to run this app. Luckily the app supports itself and is supporting me. I walked away from a very high paying company that I started. I was a, partner in this awesome company. And I walked away from it all to do this, because this message is more important now than anything else. With all the crap going on in the world, if we ever get our freedoms back, how long will we keep them if we're spinning out of control, lost in space, and don't know who we are? Okay. And the answer is we're never going to get it back if that's the case. So we need people to wake up. People say, well, I can just go find the stuff online. Sure. You can try to find it online. You'll spend 500 hours. You'll get like 3 hours worth of good content. So if your 497 hours isn't worth $3, that's another issue. All right.
Yes. And guys, before we get off to, here's the thing. I think it was 2018. The Google CEO was in front of Congress, and Congress was actually because 2017, the most Googled thing was the most Googled word search was flat Earth, and also YouTube. It was going crazy. So what happened is the CEO of YouTube actually said that the way that I'm going to respond to all these conspiracy theories and flat earthers that are posting videos is what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the algorithm. And I'm also going to make debunk videos come first, so that people, because the Congress was so worried about people finding out the truth or searching the truth that they have to scramble it all up, you guys. And Satan, first of all, Satan is going to scramble the book of Genesis like crazy. He wants to just take everything the book of Genesis says and scramble it up, guys. So that the devil is at the top of the chain of command for all these elites and for all these Freemasons and all these secret societies. It's all Luciferian doctrine, guys. So
one other thing, if you're looking for my stuff, you can just go into the app. You can hit the web button, and then on the top, second from the left, is my interviews. And you click that, up comes a playlist of all my interviews. When your interview goes live, it'll be up there. And so you can find all of these interviews. And as you can see, I've done a lot.
Okay. And to our listeners, if you're gonna do this, don't walk into this thing. You got to have your mind cleared of all crap that's been smashed into your brain.
Indoctrinated it.
Open mind, man, because when you start to see it unravel.
Here's the thing. If people that think this is stupid, and if you listen to this whole show, I don't know how you could possibly still think it's stupid. But I'm offering 2 Bitcoins for 1 proof of the globe. But you have to take the challenge. Get the app. Watch the daily video every day. It shows up at about 7:00 Eastern every day. Watch it for 2 weeks. And at the end of that 2 weeks, if you still think you have a globe proof, email me, info@theflatearthpodcast.com with your proof, and you win 2 Bitcoins if you have one. But before you do, hit that question mark, and up come the 21 questions. Your question's probably answered in there.
And if you like you said, there's way more information out there for flat Earth than there is for a globe, and that's kind of weird, because you would think that you could that's why I said prove a globe to me right now, and I will, I'll believe you. And people will be like, well, this and wait, and then that, and you're like, wait, well, I thought you said there's a globe. Come on, man.
There's no proof of the globe.
There's no proof. I'm sorry, but you can't
proof.
This is not proof. That's not proof. And I'm now saying, like, when I go to somebody about anything, I say, prove me wrong.
This is
If you
not
can
proof
prove
of
me
the globe.
wrong,
This is not proof of the globe. This is
no,
they
it's not.
admit that it's
No.
photoshopped. You can see that it's photoshopped.
Like I said, pictures
Yes.
don't prove me nothing. You come with numbers.
All
like
those
you,
are all they're all CGI
that oil derrick off the coast of the off the coast. When you say how far away it is, and at the foot of that camera, you have to add in the curvature of the earth. How come you can still see the bottom of that oil derrick and still see the everything behind it, the water behind it? There's no way you could do that.
Yeah.
And I like that one where you have that curved room. No matter how far that telescope's going to go, you're not going to see me on the other side of that curve. It doesn't matter how powerful it is. You can't see through a wall. You can't see through something that's there. You can't see through earth. That's just math doesn't lie. When people think you teach them the math about it, they're like, oh wow, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right, because math doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie.
You can use their math against you. So, all right, guys, we're at about an hour and 30 minutes. So I just want to say definitely thank you, Dave, for coming on. And we would like to have you on again. And if you could come on again, Dave, like at some point where we could maybe just do something else besides Flat Earth, or else you want to keep going to Flat Earth, it's up to you. But I appreciate you coming on. Like always, guys, we end in prayer. So Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you so much for blessing us with this time. Like I said, everybody that has ears, Lord, let them hear. We read your Bible, and we understand that right now it's the end times. And we just want to say, if you could please send a legion of angels to protect us, Lord. We appreciate you giving us the airwaves. Please let this come out on YouTube with no interruptions, so people can see the truth. We love you, Lord. Thank you for everything. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Thank you, guys. Dave, anything else you want to shout out before we end?
No, that's it. You can find my YouTube channel, DITRH. It's the initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, DITRH. Lots of short videos there. Fun stuff. And check out the app.
I would like to say thank you, Dave. God bless you, Dave. Thank you for your message. And you're right. Don't sell your soul. Don't impose your will on someone else's will. Just
and be
give them the
person.
information. If they want to do with it, they can do with it. As long as you're spreading the word and you're doing it with love and respect, and you stand firm with what you believe in, people will follow you. People will start to believe you. And as long as it's the truth, and I back the truth. And like I said, 1 Corinthians 15, verse 1-4, before you dive into any Bible, read that first. And then when you go to this and start learning about Flat Earth, it opens up the Bible way more, because it solidifies your beliefs in what God is trying to tell you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for everything.
No problem, brother.
God bless. God is good. And hope to see you guys soon.
Thanks, all right. Thank you, guys. And all the listeners that are listening on audio, if you want to check out the video, just go to Josh Monday Music and Podcast. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys listening.
The Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock App. A dynamic new app to teach family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the hours and days. The moon measures the weeks and months. The star constellations measure the seasons and years. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face, or go hands-free. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app with new added features. World Time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add your own, or have the app change it to a new one automatically every time you use the app. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Web button for additional flat Earth related features, from the mythical curve calculator all the way to Tartaria. While talking to friends, easily pull up pictures that expose the globe lie and shine light on the flat Earth truth. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth, and clean screen features. Simply click off the items you don't wish to see. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.